Clever mathematicians that you are, you guys already know a few mathematical operations. You know how to do addition and subtraction, and we're going to learn a new one today, or one that's least new to us as a group, and that's called multiplication. And the multiplication sign looks like this, like an X, basically. And we're going to spend a little bit of time just kind of exploring what it means using these little kind of kits you have in front of you, and I have one too. And just leave those on the corner of your desk for a moment. I'll show you how to use them, then you can get going. So our bags have some objects in them, pennies or paper clips or whatever, and a card with a number. And I'm going to use that number to make groups of that number. So my number is a 3, so I'm going to make groups of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I have 3 groups of 3. Go ahead and use your little kits to make groups of whatever number you have. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, Rogan, let's find out what we discovered here. So, Shanna, you have how many groups did you make?
I have 3 groups.
You made 3 groups of how many in each group?
4.
So you made 3 groups of 4. And Lynn, you made how many groups?
4.
You made 4 groups, and groups of how many?
2.
4 groups of 2. And Diane, you made how many groups?
I have 4 groups of 3.
4 groups also. Okay, 4 groups of 3. And Chris, you have
2 groups of 5.
2 groups of 5. Now notice how every time I write the multiplication sign, I'm saying the words groups of. And that's what I want you to think of, at least now when you think of multiplication, is groups of. Now I have all these little math sentences, and what's missing? What's the missing part of my problem? You know what I'm missing?
The answers.
Yeah, we're missing the answers. And we mathematicians call the answers to a multiplication problem the product. And the product in a multiplication problem tells us how many we have all together. So when I have 3 groups of 4, I have 12 altogether. And I know that because I know my multiplication facts. And I just know my part, and soon you will too. And you'll be able to just write them down. But if you don't yet, you can think of some strategies to find out how many you have all together. So I want you to take a moment looking at your little groups of objects and think of some strategies you could think of to decide how many you have all together. Take a moment to do that. Do a little bit of thinking. Make a plan. Now I want you to lean in with your shoulder partner and talk about some of the strategies you guys came up with. Okay, let's hear what some of your ideas were. What's one way you found out how many you have all together?
I just counted mine.
You can count them all up. Sure, that works. And you had, which one was yours, Shannon?
I had three groups of 4.
You had 3 groups of 4, and when you counted them all up, how many did you get? So when you had 3 groups of 4, you had 12 all together. Did anyone do it a different way besides just counting them all up? What did you do, Lynn?
I added mine.
You added them? And how did you, tell me, walk me through that, how you added them?
I added them by 2.
So you had 4 groups of 2?
Yes.
So you had, basically you had 4 2s?
Yes.
And you added them all together? 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2? And you got how many? 8. Did anyone think of another way to do that? You had 4 groups of 2, you had 8 altogether. Did anyone think of another way?
Well, it's kind of the same as hers. I just counted by 3s.
Yeah, so you skip counting. You know how to skip count by 3s. And so, and which one was yours?
4 times 3.
4 groups of 3. So you skip counted by 3s, and would you just show me how you did that?
3, 6, 9, 12.
Yeah, and you knew that you had then had 12 altogether. Those are all Great ways to do it. Any other ways that we thought of?
I just counted them.
You counted yours all up, and that works. And you had 2 groups of 5, and you had 10 altogether. Here's what I want you to do to practice this. You're going to, with your shoulder partner and your little objects, there are 2 sets of little multiplication problems here. Oh goodness, we better erase this. So you have 2 sets of little multiplication problems, one for each shoulder partner, and you're going to do this using Rally Coach, which means you're going to take turns doing problems. One of you is going to solve the problem while the other one coaches the other one through. Give them tips, pointers, if they're doing a good job, praise them, tell them they're doing a nice job. And here's how I want you to do it. You'll start with 2 times 6, and then, well, let's just do this example. We have our example is 4 times 2. So you're going to say 4 times 2 means 4 groups of 2. So you're going to say what it means, and then you can use your little objects to actually make a model. Make 4 groups of 2. And then when you've done that, you can use your strategy that you used before to find out how many you have all together, and then you're going to say 4 groups of 2 makes 8 altogether. Coach, what I want you to do is as they're doing those problems, coach them through it. If they're able to do with your coaching, do all those steps right, make a little star on your whiteboard. And I want to see how many out of 5 they were able to do that. Go ahead and do that now.
One board for the 2 of them.
Yeah, 1 board for the 2 of you. Just take turns, and here are your sets of problems up here. Let's hear some coaching.
Good job. I'm not sure. Create the 6, make a model.
So we better use mine. Here's 2 groups of 6. Which would mean 2 times 6.
Right.
Yeah. So if we have, okay, so we can make 6 groups of 2. That works.
2 groups of
So you said 2 groups of 6 means, 2 times 6 means 2 groups of 6, right? And you made your model, and now what do you have to do? Now you want to find out how many you have all together.
Oh.
So
Yeah, you have that.
yeah, and you can write it if you want to, or you can just say it out loud.
Okay. Good. All right. Nice job. Thank you.
So when you've done one and you've been able to mark that they got it figured out, you can switch and take turns doing it the other way.
And then, now we can't see it.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem, isn't it? There's your
3
second.
times 2. What's the top? 3 times 4.
Oh, it's up here 3 times 4.
Oh, 3 times 4. 3 times 4 means 3 groups of 4. And
You want to get the group?
okay, 3 groups of 4 means
Okay.
12 altogether.
5, 6, 7, 8.
That is right.
Or 4 is 8. Well, that's
That's
counting.
three.
Skip counting. Okay, so we times 2. So another plus.
1, 2, 2.
Okay.
Nice coaching.
Means 1 group of 5.
Oh, we can count them. 2.
That seems a little
Is that the way we
so as I saw you guys working, I saw coaches doing a great job of coaching and praising each other along, and I saw you guys were able to describe your multiplication problems in terms of groups of, and make little models, and actually figure out, use one of these strategies to figure out how many you had all together. Nice job. We're going to spend a lot of time working on multiplication the next little bit, and every time we do that, we'll try and spend some time talking about what it actually means. Thanks, work.
Thank you.
Thank you.